So I'm Tim Heineke. I'm the co-founder of Shuffler FM, and Shuffler FM creates radio stations made by the leading voices in music culture. We basically turn music sites, blogs, or any kind of music site into radio stations with words, pictures, and audio. Our unique thing is that we create, like I said, we create radio stations out of sites. So it could be an artist site, it could be a music blog, it could be a festival site. So we look at a music site as a giant mixtape, and that mixtape has lots of context. So those sites are usually journalists or DJs or reviewers or some form of curators. And so as the first part, we curate and filter lots of music. There's 20 million songs and way too much. And we filter that by using those curators on sites to program, let's say, radio stations. But it's in a very visual way. You listen as you read the review or dive into the artwork and all that stuff. So apart from the curation and the filtering, point, it's very visual. Our audience would be mostly people really more active music listeners and more lean forward, and they're really active and want to look for new music, which is actually the spot I think you want to be. So only in the US, that is 30 million people who are active, engaged, looking for new music. That's already 30 million people. And those are the people who go to concerts or buy a Sonos or buy music, right? So, because my parents don't go to festivals, they don't buy music, but they're not very active, lean forward music discovery people. So, but that audience is always underestimated. It's a 30 million US only already. One of the ways we are going to make money in 2013, we already made some money, is some people might know StumbleUpon or some might not, but the model is that we could actually send traffic to a certain page, a URL, or a brand site. So, for example, Converse has a music site called Rubber Tracks, and they create lots of cool content, just like Red Bull does. And instead of buying banners somewhere across the web and then hoping people will go to that site, we can actually insert that URL on that site like a campaign somewhere in the middle of our place and say, give that 100,000 or 50,000 or 200,000 plays. So we can give brands, they actually get inserted within the experience of playing radio, and then a user suddenly is on the Converse page, for example, and then plays the music that they're creating or doing, and we give that more traffic, and those go 10 cents per play. So that's how we make money on the advertising part, or also something we're going to work on in 2013. And we're working on a subscription model, but we don't know really where that's going to head. Music startups are hard. So the hardest part is, I would have to say, battling with yourself mentally. So because you put it so much on a pedestal, so high, you know, the game is played very high, right? Music everybody you know, works with this in the ecosystem, the whole country. Everybody's like apps, startups. You could be the next Facebook. You could be a billionaire, and funding goes around that with term sheets waving to you with valuations. And you can be, but the reality is that it's a very slim chance that it is, and it's very hard execution to get there. And in the meantime, you have competition, and it goes very fast, and you know, you don't have that much money to go as fast as you want. So that you encounter yourself. I'm not sure if that's an English word, but in Dutch it is. But you encounter yourself several times, really rough, and it's a very to keep your sanity is the biggest challenge so far, and I'm getting better at it. The coolest thing I think of what we're doing is that still every day we wake up, not every day, because sometimes you have those sanity days that you think, what? But most of the wake up and just the feeling that we are, if we're right or wrong, doesn't really matter, but the feeling that we are doing something, we actually can change something. So there's sometimes always this feeling in our stomach, like hey, man, like we're really gonna change something for the better good for artists. So the player directly made of artist sites, right, and compensate them for their work and give them more traffic. That you could change something like that with a team of people together, and it could work or could not work. That's also the exciting part, of course. Is yeah, is the most fun. It makes me very enthusiastic, I feel it. Yeah, a lot of naysayers. Yeah, but it's a lot of negativity always. But I accept it. I can't really be bothered with it. Sometimes I get a bit reactionary of it because I hear you have to. Once you're doing this, either everyone loves what you're doing, even blindly, or you get a lot of naysaying, right? And you just have to listen to what is the right feedback, and some stuff is just a lot of crap, or you just got to be blind for it and keep going and focus on what you're doing.